Hi, my name's Daryl. Now when I got my Jeep Wrangler Sport, it came with these Odero running boards with steps. And yep, they make getting in and out of the Jeep a breeze, but they don't protect it when going off-road, and actually can increase the possibility of getting hung up on the rocks. So one of the first upgrades that I needed for my Jeep then was a good set of rock sliders. Now rock sliders, they're also called rock rails, and they protect your Jeep's rocker panels and pinch seams from damage and allow your Jeep to slide over rocks instead of getting hung up. Now Jeep Wrangler Rubicons and Willys, they come stock with rock sliders, but Sports and Saharas, they don't. Now if you don't have them, this is one upgrade that you really might want to consider if you are wanting to take your Jeep off-road. When searching for rock sliders, there are a dizzying array of options, but some of the most important things to consider is you want rock sliders that are made of high-grade steel that mount to the frame and have a durable rust-resistant powder coating for long-term protection. Now, many rock sliders also have built-in steps, so if you need a little help getting into your Jeep, that is an option as well. Recently, the folks at Westin Automotive reached out to me and wanted me to do a review on their triple tube rock rail steps. Westin Automotive, they've been manufacturing Jeep accessories in the United States for over 40 years. And I've got to say, I'm pretty flattered to do a review on one of their products. Now, the Westin rock rail steps, they check all the boxes. So they have a 16 gauge steel top step that's textured for slip resistance. It also has 3 tubes that are 2-inch in diameter for kind of more sturdiness. It's a bolt-on installation with no drilling required that mounts directly to your Jeep's frame, and it includes a 3-year manufacturer warranty. Now, these sliders are available on Amazon for only $370. And as I mentioned before, they are made in the United States, so they are not your typical China-made Amazon product. Now, as you can see, I've already installed these on the passenger side. So let me show you how easy the installation is on the driver's side. All right, so let's get started with the install. So you're gonna need the instructions that come with it, but I'm gonna pretty much kind of walk through everything. You've got this little piece right here that connects rock rails to the frame, and this is item number 3. This is the M12, the bolt plate, and then you have some assorted washers and lock washers and nuts to connect that. And then you have this U-bolt right here, which kind of hangs from the frame, and this is also what connects the rock rails to the frame. And then you have, of course, washers and a nut, and then lock washers to go with this. So the tools that you're gonna need is you're gonna need an 18mm socket, an 18mm wrench, 16mm socket, and a 16mm wrench, likely a ratchet as well as a torque wrench. So that you can torque everything to spec. Now, I also might want to recommend that you have an impact wrench just to make getting the bolts out just a little bit easier. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the supplied hardware to the frame. So we're going to start off at the front of the Jeep, and I'm going to go ahead and do the U-bolt first. So let me get underneath the Jeep and show you that. All right, so looking at the front of the Jeep, where we're going to install that U-bolt is right on this frame right here, and you can see right underneath you have these 2 holes in the frame. So that is where the U-bolt is going to go. All right, so to get that installed, they used to give you a special tool to do this. You don't need it anymore, so you just go inside and then you kind of insert them into the holes, and then you get these little retainer plastic pieces, and basically the only thing that does is hold these bolts in place as you're attaching the rock rails. And so basically you just want to insert those little plastic pieces into the thread just to kind of hold it in place there, and then you do the other one. Okay, so that's the first part of the install. All right, so we're still in the front of the Jeep, and this little hole right here, which kind of lines up with these guys right here, is where that kind of bolt retainer is going to go. So this piece right here Now, I found this really confusing because there doesn't seem to be a really good video, and the documentation doesn't really show this very well. I kind of made some guesses on how this goes, and it worked for the first one, so that's great. But this bolt basically gets inserted into this hole, and it just kind of sits there. And so this bolt won't go, so it's kind of like at a little bit of a diagonal. This bolt won't quite, it's a little bit too long to sit in the frame like that because it's not all the way in. So you just kind of guess it's probably more towards the center, and it sits right about there. So that's where I'm gonna have it, and then I'm gonna put that little retainer on there to kind of hold that in place. Now you'll notice that the retainer on this one is just a little bit bigger than these bolts, of course, because this bolt is bigger. So we just put that little retainer onto here, just to kind of sort of hold it in place. All right, so for our next step, we're gonna go towards the back of the Jeep, and you're gonna go underneath, and here you're gonna be removing some hardware that connects the body to the frame. So, and this is gonna be a little bit controversial in that the instructions say for you to remove this bolt, and that's a 16 millimeter, this bolt, which is also a 16 millimeter, and this bolt right here, which is an 18 millimeter. Now, when I watched the video from this, I watched a number of videos. So I watched the one from Westin Automotive, and they removed that 18 millimeter bolt for the body. Then I watched one from Extreme Terrain, but they didn't remove that 18 millimeter bolt. And then when I looked at folks on Amazon or wherever they purchased it from, a lot of folks said not to remove that body bolt because you know, it makes it kind of a little bit harder, and it's unnecessary, and that bolt's really hard to get off. So when I did my install, I didn't remove that 18 millimeter bolt, and I was able to successfully do it. So that's the way I'm going to do it for the driver's side as well. You just kind of got to I'll show you when I get to it. I think if you actually have two people, it might make it a little bit easier to remove that 18 millimeter bolt, but if you are going to remove it, you're probably going to need an impact wrench, because that's the only way that I could get that 18 millimeter bolt off. So it was pretty darn tight. But you are going to need to remove the two bolts that are right next to that 18 millimeter, which are 16 millimeter bolts. So let's go ahead and do that now. Now, to make quick work of this, I'm going to go ahead and just use my impact to remove these bolts. But they just zip right off. All right, so we'll go ahead and remove the next ones. All right, on to our next step. All right, so I am doing this install by myself, and that's how I did the passenger side. I did make use of this this floor jack, and so what I'm gonna do is just put some wood on it, just to put the rock rail on it, and then kind of slide it underneath, just to give me a little more support as I'm trying to position it into place. And so this could be something that provide you a little help, or you're better off get a buddy, get a 6-pack, probably make it a lot easier as well. But let me go ahead and get the rock rails. Now, I wouldn't say these are all that heavy. Maybe this is like 40 pounds or so. So I think I could probably manhandle it myself. I'm gonna go ahead, just use this floor jack just to make it a little bit easier on myself. Kind of put it in place and center it as best as possible. And what I'm going to do is do my best to just kind of line everything up before I kind of jack it up and get everything in place. And it actually looks pretty close. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide that floor jack into place. So now I'm just going to go ahead and just raise it up just a little bit. so the way I'm going to try to do this is basically the way I did it initially on the passenger side. And so I've still got it on the floor jack. And so what I'm going to do is kind of push it in, and then I'm going to just tilt it just a little bit like this, which will give me enough room so that I can slide these little pieces kind of over the top of that, you know, that huge washer. And it'll actually act as kind of like a hanger for letting it rest. Instead of having it on the floor jack, it'll just kind of sit on those huge washers. And that's the way I did it before. I'm gonna slide this in. And it's really important that I kind of have everything lined up nicely. I'm gonna do just a little bit of a tilt, like so. And then I'm just going to kind of use my leg to help with leverage a little bit. And then just push it kind of up into that tilt. Definitely kind of manhandling this now. Okay, so I've got one successfully in, so you can see that it's kind of underneath there. So now I'm going to move to this one right here and try to slide also that one in over the top of that hanger. Gonna slide back out a little bit and then lift up. So this one now is inside of that hanger. So now I'm just gonna try to work those other bolts in at the very front. All right, so you can kind of see where we're at. This bolt right here is almost in place, and then down here, kind of U-bolt, I almost have those in place. And so now I just have to kind of just wiggle them in and then finish securing the other two at the front of the Jeep. All right, so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. Now, I've got my head kind of underneath the rock rails, and so you do want to be a little careful as you're trying to manipulate this. So I'm gonna kind of make sure that the jack is kind of in place so it doesn't land on my head. And what we're gonna do is just kind of work these U-bolts. There we go, perfect. So now those are in place. This bolt in place. So I don't think they're going anywhere. So now what I'm gonna do is go back to the back of the Jeep where they're hanging, and just kind of secure those bolts a little bit. I think what I am gonna do though before I do that is go ahead and just kind of put some bolts in place just to make sure this doesn't go anywhere. So we're going to do the regular washer first, and then the lock washer, and then we'll put a nut on there just to make sure that none of these go anywhere. Okay, and let's do the other one. Washer, lock washer, and then our nut. Okay, all right, so we got screws kind of just temporarily in place just to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere. And so this is where the floor jack really can make a little bit of a difference, and so I had to raise the rock rails up just a little bit, and having the floor jack just so that I could kind of raise the rock rail up into place really helped out. All right, so I'm just gonna use my impact to go ahead and tighten these down. Now, if you notice, my impact won't reach now, so I'm actually gonna have to use an extension to get in there. All right, so we're gonna tighten down also the U-bolts. Yeah, and I don't have a deep socket, so to finish this, I'm just gonna use my wrench. And because I don't have a deep socket, I'm not gonna be able to torque this to spec. I'll show you what the torque specs are. But yeah, I'm just gonna hand tighten as much as I can, and we'll go with that. And one more bolt tighten. Now the torque setting for the factory M10 nuts are 45 foot-pounds. So I don't need a deep socket for these, and so I'll go ahead and torque these down to 45 foot-pounds. And let's do the next one. All right, so I finished the install. As I'd mentioned, I don't have deep sockets, and so I wasn't able to torque everything down to spec. But basically for the M10 hardware, you know, you've got a 32 pound torque rating. For the M12 hardware, you have 55 foot-pounds. And then the factory hardware, the M10 is 45 pounds and the M12 is 78 pounds. So really happy with the look of these things. So let me show it to you. All right, so this is what the product looks like after it's installed. And yeah, I've got to say, I really do like the look of them. You can see the textured step is really attractive. It does protrude down just a little bit, but that's your triple tube. You know, it keeps everything nice and solid, and these do connect directly to the frame. So I don't have any concerns there. A couple of things that people have said on the internet about the install. So one of the things they talk about is that, you know, of course, whenever you install like some sort of a rock rail, they're really not meant to protect this part of the body panels. And so a couple of things you can do. What I actually did is I got bolts and I just painted them to kind of match the Jeep. They don't perfectly match, but pretty close. So yeah, I don't mind the way that looks at all. I think it looks really sharp. Other people have also said that sometimes because of that gap right there, that sometimes rocks get stuck in that gap when you're off-roading. And the other things that people talked about is when they're driving, sometimes they hear some squeaking. Maybe it's because they didn't quite tighten it enough. You know, I've drove it for one day and I haven't heard any sort of squeaking at all. They seem really solidly in place. So I think the time it took me to do the install, I think it was probably a little bit more than an hour for this side, for the driver's side, mostly just because, you know, I was kind of putting everything on camera. I think yesterday when I did the passenger side, it really only took about 45 minutes or so. Probably figure a couple hours for the install. Probably a lot shorter if you're not doing it by yourself. If you have a buddy, probably do it a little bit faster. But overall, the install was really easy. I think if I remember right, the price on Amazon was $378 or so. You know, this is a really good high quality product that'll serve you well for very years, and so I don't really think you can go wrong. And so this is Daryl. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this helps you out if you are getting this product, and hope to see you in the next video again very soon.